This is 100 days of survival on a rover inside a dead swamp. I found myself surrounded by terrible swamps. All I have is a rover and a stick. The world is filled with new monsters that have risen from the ground, and locations can easily drag me to the bottom. I have to explore this dangerous world and look for a way out. And if I get out, then survival will be completed. Guys, now this is the true definition of a dead swamp. I appeared in a swamp on some island without a single resource from the previous rover survival. In addition to the terrifying monsters around, I noticed a rover that was located to the right of the island. So this is a rover, great. Wait, what is that? Some kind of iguana attacked me. Run. What is that? I just appeared and some local reptiles immediately attacked me. However, I survived and was also able to climb onto some abandoned building. Alright, so there's two chests behind me. Let's check them out. Fish, seeds, an axe. Nice. A wooden one. Well, what do you need, guys? Leather pants, potatoes, string, and sticks. Super. What are you doing here, crocodile? Get out of my house! No one's safe from the fact that a crocodile can crawl onto your first floor, especially me, who's surviving inside a dead swamp. After waiting for the crocodile to leave, I went downstairs, and there was really cool loot that I found in the chest. I really hope it helps us. That's it, Croc. If you come here now, you'll really have some problems. Though I think it went somewhere, so let's read the note. This is an unusual swamp. People are looking for a way out of here, but no matter how deep they go, it feels like it's appearing right under their feet. I don't know what to do with this info yet. Let's better try and get some wood. Oh, this crocodile, what do you want? I don't understand. Before driving a rover throughout the swamp, we had to build at least some kind of starting house in order to feel safe among these creatures. Having made the first workbench and a wooden pick, I tried to dig through and get cobblestone. But here, I ran into the first problem. There was simply no stone below. I dug quite deep, but there's still no stone here. This immediately called into question many of the mechanics of this survival. I had to look for another way to get stone. First of all, guys, let's close all the holes that are here, because the monsters are just everywhere in this swamp. And now I think I feel quite safe here. Before it started to get dark, I decided to explore the whole island to the end. I found a small ruin with two chests containing resources such as slime, gunpowder, some bricks, a stake, and a helmet, as well as a berry basket and a note. Sometimes you can find pancakes in the ruins. I wanna eat now. But the most interesting thing that there was a cave here in which I really hope to find a single stone. Look, there's some kind of cave here. Maybe we can find stone there. What is that? Need a gas mask? What do you mean? Below level 56, there's an accumulation of swamp vapors. That is, it turns out I can't even go down at all? Based on this message, it turned out that we couldn't extract all the resources we knew about until we had a gas mask. But there was still a way out. Small pebbles were scattered all over the island, as well as throughout the map. Just like in the previous episode of survival on a rover in a snowstorm. And maybe if I collect them, I can at least make myself a stone pickaxe. But the fact that there's no stone in this survival is quite unusual. But look, there's just so many trees here though. Hey, crocodile, stop! Okay, never mind, I killed the crocodile. Iguana! Having successfully reached the house, I crafted a single cobblestone from the stones, and I finally made myself a stone pickaxe. And at this time, the world began to get dark. The first day in the dead swamp was coming to an end, and as night fell, new types of monsters began to spawn in the world. Look, there's some kind of bird sitting on a tree and flying. And there's even zombies here, look. It's day number 2, and the weather in the swamp has cleared up. Everything looked much more colorful, and most importantly, visibility improved. Yeah, guys, the sounds outside the window are not the most pleasant, to be honest. What is this? A walking tree? What's going on here? Look, there's a house there, and a little to the left, there's an entrance to some kind of bunker, as well as small ruins. There's also this tower in the visibility zone. But most of all, guys, I want to get to my rover first. Okay, I wonder if this zombie drops anything useful, because I'm out of ammo. Okay, this is some kind of rotten flesh. When I got to the rover, I saw some slight changes. Now the swamp mud was visible on the tracks, as well as the frame of the rover. Look, guys, this is our same rover. Nothing has changed inside, and everything remains the same. The only question is where we can go here, and whether the rover can drive on water. And look, well, not bad. It can move on water. Alright, so our rover can move around the map quite easily. On this side of the shore, there was a large tower. I just needed loot, so I decided to explore it. Okay, so here's the entrance. Oh, look, 6 ammo. And some kind of rusty broken bottle, bandages, beads. Nice. Let's reload our swamper. Now we'll feel more secure. And do you hear these sounds, yeah? There's just a huge number of flies all around. 4 cobblestone, and a wrench. Great! What's funny is that in this survival, the cobblestone is really worth its weight in gold. Even the loot we found in this tower shows this. Having dealt with the mosquitoes that had flown in from nowhere, I headed back home. I made myself an axe from the newly found cobblestone and got some wood. The 3rd day of survival in the swamp and the 35th day of survival on the entire rover has come. If you look closely, beets grow in many places. It seemed like a great idea to collect it and make a farm first, so that later I wouldn't have to worry too much about food. Of course, on the first day, I was simply shocked by how many monsters there are. There's probably 6 times more of them than there were in the last snowstorm. At the same time, it's worth noting that there's no barrier here, but I think that there's some other feature here that we simply haven't seen yet. Having collected enough beets, I finally decided to take care of the house and the farm. Naturally, I'll make my house in this radio tower. After replacing the entire floor and also dismantling the ruins that were on my island, I finally covered the holes with bricks and not with dirt, as it was on the first day. Well guys, this is what it looks like, and yeah, of course, the building is abandoned and requires restoration, but on the other hand, it's better than it was before. And I decided to make a small farm on the side of the house. Day 4, I wanted to make windows in my house, but there was absolutely no sand. After placing a couple of chests, I decided to go explore the swamp. Okay guys, right now we're trying to get to this very house on a rover. I think it's better to park somewhere here. Somehow guys, I parked. And look at how they're looking at it. Beautiful, I agree. Somehow we had to get to that house. Using the rover directly in the water wasn't an option, so I took a shovel and dug up some dirt and calmly bridged to the building. We'll just carefully bridge up like this, just like that, neatly. And as you understand guys, one blow from this monster and I don't know whether I will survive or not. It's good that we at least got to this building. Inside the house, I was greeted by little green monsters who turned out to be pretty aggressive. It took quite a while to deal with them. Let's see what's in here. Oh wow! An iron ingot, a kilometer sight, 5 ammo that we need, another 8 of some kind, as well as a chest plate and a note. Day 562 of searching for a way out of this dead swamp. This is simply impossible. This is just some kind of deception. A couple of times I saw silhouettes of people, but most likely it was a mirage. I'm completely alone here. This clue says that some person survived for 562 days here and still didn't find a way out of the swamp. But let me remind you that this is our most important task, thanks to this rover, which helps us survive and find a way out of the swamp in the shortest possible time. I understand that this won't be that easy. Day 5, and the sun came out again. And by the way, I noticed that there's some kind of pattern in this world. When the fog fills the swamp, many more monsters will spawn. Today, I continue to explore the marshy areas, but on foot to see what I could find. First of all, I found holes in which all sorts of human things spawn. I think some monsters were stealing these things from the nearby houses. I also found beaver dams. This is the only place where it's possible to get another type of wood, ranging from birch to spruce. And of course, I always came across small ruins along the way. There, you could find regular loot and sometimes even spawners. So if you look around, you'll find a lot of details everywhere. I think that with each video, our survivals become more and more elaborate. During this day, we managed to find many different resources. Clothes, a lighter, first aid kits, and of course, different types of trees. However, despite this, we still couldn't craft a furnace. Pebbles spawn rarely, and in principle, this was not the best option. I had to find a good way to make cobblestone or craft a gas mask, or at least find an option to make a cobblestone generator. Because as for me, this would really simplify our survival. But I also didn't see lava anywhere. We're on day 6, friends. We still have sunshine, and look what I found. This is the same, some kind of radiation, or what is this? To be honest, I think that this is the entrance to some kind of bunker. But the fact is, I can't go in there, because as you know, if I go lower, then radiation or whatever will start hitting me, or whatever it's called. These all sorts of swamp poisonings will kill me. The situation was a dead end. In order not to sit still, I decided to make windows in my house. So wait, I made a window, but how do I make glass? The situation was a deadlock after deadlock, and in order not to create a new deadlock, I went on my rover to further explore the swamp. Look, there's some kind of houses here. I think that before the fog covers everything again, we need to quickly explore it all. Flowers? Seriously, daisies? I'm trying to find loot here, and there's daisies here. Day 7, and it scared me quite a lot. Early in the morning, a message appeared in chat. Somewhere in the distance, you heard a shot. What? Is this some kind of plot text or what? Right after this, the fog covered the entire swamp, and a couple minutes later, I saw something insane. Guys, What is this? Is this some kind of strange creature? And what's that on top? What's going on here? I just got used to the monsters that live here. Guys, this is complete trash. I don't want to leave the house at all today. On day 8, the fog disappeared. I continued to drive through the local dead swamp on my Rover. By the way, wait, you know what? In the last episode in a snowstorm, there was such a story that we could go in the back of our magnificent Rover and using the transmitter find all sorts of rescue signals. The coordinates were shown there, we followed them and saved people. Why didn't I watch it this time? So let's see. Wait, there's something completely different here. Blueprint locator? What? Unfortunately, I don't have the right to ask my team for hints, and I'll have to figure everything out myself. The first thing I decided to do was turn it on and start driving around the area. If it's a locator, that means it might be able to find something. And that's exactly what happened. What? Wait, a line has appeared. 100 meters to an unstudied recipe. Focusing on what was written on the screen, I started driving around and eventually got to the very place where it is located. In retrospect, it's pretty surprising that I didn't go to the back of my Rover and see what was the new feature. The radar is beeping. I could have done this from the very beginning. Stay close to the Rover while it learns a new recipe. But I had no idea that along with this would come a huge number of monsters. They're all flocking to the Rover. Okay, come on, careful. I don't have any ammo. Come on. All right, where possible, we'll try to fight them off with a wrench. Come on. This is a whole wave of monsters. Oh my god. I don't even know which is worse. If they break the Rover or kill me. Okay, -1. Great. One more and one more. Okay, a little more. Gas mask recipe learned. What? Okay, let's get out of here quickly, guys. Let's just get out of here. Right before your eyes, thanks to new features that I initially missed, I was able to learn my first recipe. And I'm gonna say that this won't be the last recipe that we'll learn in this survival. Look, now in the back of our Rover, I can look up the recipe. And by the way, I can't say that crafting this gas mask is pretty difficult. Rather, finding and studying this recipe was quite problematic. The whole next day, I spent collecting resources in order to craft that same gas mask. Part of the resources had to be looked up in the very holes where all sorts of human objects spawn, which as I said are most likely stolen by monsters from nearby houses. But this is all for the beauty of the story. In fact, they just spawned there. Okay guys, if you think that monsters in the swamp don't just attack me, it's complete insanity. Even just looking for dams and looking for these holes is already dangerous. I believe guys that now our survival will begin. Because I still haven't even made a window in my house. I don't even have a furnace yet. Now everything will start, friends. I just need to make a gas mask. Having finished collected all the necessary resources in the evening, I finally made a gas mask. I got an achievement. The barrier's unlocked. It turns out that this survival also had a barrier. Only this time it was horizontal. Now we had access to caves, mines, bunkers, and even catacombs. I don't remember which day it is. Today, I finally decided to go to that very cave that I couldn't get into for so many days. First of all, I immediately found coal and iron there. There was no stone, but there was a lava lake, which meant that we could finally make a cobblestone generator and finally solve the problem with this resource. It's so good to have at least one furnace. Now we're gonna put everything in there to start cooking, and soon we'll be living like kings. While the iron was being melted down, I decided to go to the catacombs, because now we can finally go in there. I'm near the catacombs right now, and look, there's a boss bar on top. Necromancer. It would be a little dangerous to go there, but we have torches here, and with light, it's not so scary. The only thing is that I can't hold them at the same time as the guns, so I'll just light them like this. There's no one here. Where is everyone? What was that? Here it is, look, oh my god! Despite the necromancer, I decided to loot the chest a little bit. I even found a new cannon and a bag of treasures, which I couldn't help but make me happy. But while I was examining all these items, it turned out that the necromancer could break blocks, and that is exactly what happened. Oh my god, he left me on 3.5 HP! Guys, he left me on 3.5 HP! It's so crazy, he's spawning some guys or something! Okay, we're low, okay, calm down, yes, come on! Okay, that's it, I killed the necromancer! So guys, it's not so simple today. Very carefully, really carefully. There's these zombies that he summoned. Having dealt with the zombies, I went further to explore the catacombs. First of all, I would like to say that I found a very interesting pickaxe, which was called like this. Now you can break the air, some kind of pickaxe. For now, I decided not to touch it and calmly finish exploring everything. Otherwise, maybe some 35 necromancer would spawn. Another chest, ice pick, look, it's cool. Cheese, all sorts of crap. cap and a scarf of good luck. Wait, what'll happen if we put it on? It looks strange, but at least we're warm now. The last thing here is there's some kind of note. Let's read it. This swamp is one of the most dangerous places on the planet. Cyclicity, infinity, chance, decision, battle, exit. I could read these words on the walls of this dungeon. What could they mean? Well, most likely these words tell us how we can get out of this place. That is, at first we understand that the world is cyclical, as you understood from the notes. Then for some reason there's some kind of infinity, some kind of accident, finding a solution, a final battle, and maybe in the end we can finally get out of here. This is where the exploration of this dungeon has come to an end, and it was already late. We had to get out. New day. I've already seen a lot of notes saying that this swamp is endless, so today I decided to check it out myself. Well guys, I hope our Rover won't get stuck anywhere and drown. That would be pretty sad. I would say even very much sad. Let's not think about the bad. Let's just go in one direction and drive for a very, very long time. From day 11 to day 12, I just drove straight. And the further I drove, the more I realized that this was all true. Yeah, there are various small dungeons along the way, but pretty much ruins. I didn't come across anything plot related. Now I really understand what the note said. The way back was a bit faster, because this time I was driving without stopping. Day 14. Realizing my hopeless situation, I decided that if I can't find a way out of here, that means I can take care of my home and really improve my base. Which was definitely necessary. As you remember, this world can present surprises in the form of some strange monsters. And plus, I'm tired of constantly parking my Rover practically next to a tree. This morning I made a bucket and a cobblestone generator. Now we're gonna get enough and start building. Throwing everything away to be melted down, bricks began to appear for me, which meant that all the cracked and all the mossy cobblestone could be removed from my base. I also decided to get rid of the vines and extra cobwebs because they were making the building look abandoned. The decoration of the base and the transformation of the house into a piece of art began in full swing. I replaced all the blocks, added new ones, as well as beautifully lit the place. Managed to create a nice little warehouse inside, a separate kitchen, and finally my own bedroom. There's no sheep here, but I collected a lot of string, so this saved me. Just so you understand, before that I just stood and waited for the morning to come. I thought it would be a good idea to beautify the entire island, but gradually. The first thing I decided to do was to make a parking spot for my Rover. To do this, I leveled the place, collected asphalt blocks, as well as made handrails. The farm also didn't go unnoticed. In addition to these beets, I also had carrots and potatoes. I thought that I needed to make a 3-stage farm, all divided by crops. I also made some paths across the island and illuminated the whole thing. Let's just say in terms of security, I can't say that everything is perfect here, because all the monsters could easily get onto this island. I don't have enough resources to fence everything off. Also, I tried to illuminate everything as much as possible, as well as made some paths to firstly make it look nice, and secondly, reduce the chance of these monsters spawning. Finally, we had a good base in the middle of this dead swamp, which was at least pleasant to be in. After crafting a gas mask, things finally started to improve. I started going into caves and mining resources, and finally we had lighting and iron pants. But as luck would have it, the next day a new message appeared in chat. The influence of the terrible swamp is expanding. I would later find out what that terrible swamp is, but at the moment I had no clue what it was. To be honest, I don't like any of this at all. I mean, I don't mind complications, but everything is going so well. Why? On day 20, some magic happened. I saw a beam in the distance from my house and decided to head straight towards it. What you'll see will surprise you. Wait, what is this huge building? It wasn't here before. Where did it even come from? Despite the strangeness and magic of the situation, I decided to explore this place. It was a giant abandoned factory. Next guys, I'll probably walk on foot because as you can see, I think some kind of vulture already wants to attack me. Okay guys, I feel that here I'm gonna have to fight all these monsters quite a lot. And they actually do a bit of damage too. Oh my god, what is this swamp with some mutated jumping frogs? These are really jumping mutated frogs. Alright, let's just climb up like this. Wait, they're jumping to me from the tree. Oh wait, look! There's actually glass here and I can get it. I can finally make glass in our house. It's just that there's absolutely no sand anywhere on the map. Or I just missed it. I don't know, but in any case, you can get glass here. Let's do this before any vultures attack me. I got the glass and went inside. I was surprised because there weren't a huge number of monsters here. here. It seemed to me that there were even fewer of them here than in the swamp itself. However, it was precisely this feeling that turned out to be deceptive, and you will find out why later. I'll continue to parkour carefully, guys. And finally, we can see, okay, look, it turns out someone here didn't wait for salvation, and accordingly, the fire went out. So there's a chest here with some kind of camera monitor, and what can it do? Right-click a security camera to view. I think it doesn't do anything, at least for now. Oh, these little jumpers, or what can I call them? Tell me in the comments what you think we should name them. To me, they look like mutated frogs. The most important thing in such places is of course loot. The most important thing is loot, yeah, obviously. I hope that we find some kind of plot task here, because I don't understand where this plant came from, for example. And look, here we have a book and quill. Uncle Valera didn't show up for his shift again. Recently he said something about a heated basement and wanted to go down there. It didn't take long to find this basement, only it was flooded. But I still decided to go down there. Swimming through the underwater cave and occasionally using air pockets, I ended up in the basement of the plant. So the loot here isn't really great, to be honest. Maybe I'll find something good here later. Air pocket, nice. There was nothing unusual about this basement, just a lot of food and a way out. I really hope that this isn't an exit, because I haven't even looted half of this entire plant. But okay, at least we swam. Well, what can I say? Let's just go back. Alright, my pick. And here you can just endlessly climb through all sorts of different sides of this plant. Oh, those mutated frogs. At first, I thought they were quite helpless, until the following situation happened. Let's try to fight them off like this a little bit. Let's even spend a lot of ammunition on this, and I mean a lot. Because they just won't go away on their own. If we lose sight of them, guys, it won't be good. So, here we have more guys, even more. Okay, let's reload. I think I'm running out of ammo already. So, 1.5 HP, 1.5 HP, 1.5 HP. Oh my god, guys, they cornered me. I'll fight back the best I can, guys. I'll fight back the best I can. I'll do my best. It was a very intense moment. One more hit from any of these monsters and this survival will end. I knew that there was no way I could lose. I see another one coming towards me. I need a bandage. I need a bandage. Right now, a bandage. Okay, I healed. Okay. If you look at this shot again, you can see how literally a millisecond after I used the bandage, the monster hit me. If I hadn't healed in time, the video would have ended right here. After looting the premises of this plant and collecting the most useful loot, I decided to go home. Because my inventory was already full and I feel like I've studied everything by now. The most important thing that we found while looting this factory is a stack of gold and a stack of iron. It was a lot actually, and it was worth it. And it's probably worth explaining why this is a lot. Because the caves are not common in the swamp, and the resources here are really worth their weight in gold. Morning of day 21. Having sorted out all the resources that I found at the factory, I decided to go in a rover to a direction that I'd never traveled to before. So I got on my rover and immediately went there. After 10 minutes of travel, I came across some strange buildings and immediately wanted to explore them. So here we are. Oh, the zombies. Okay, I gotta be careful. With such an axe, it's no problem at all. A chest with loot, and here we have a flint and a book and a quill. After the monster appeared, the swamp began to take over the world. Is it even possible to defeat that terrible creature? I only know one thing. It is afraid of the fire that appeared after a lightning strike. That's all that was written there. And as usual, there's more questions than answers. It's gonna be night soon, so I think our best option is to wait out the night here. I'll definitely close all the windows because you know what kind of monsters there's here, and it's good that I did. New day. After looting a couple of ruins, I decided to go home. But on the way, I accidentally came across a very interesting dungeon. Guys, look at how many crocodiles there's here. And look, I think they're laying eggs over there. Let's try to get there. Let's face it was a pretty dangerous decision. Come on, let's come here. Great, okay, let's run. Okay, that's it, we're taking it. Okay, this is a success, guys. Let's go home. The entire 23rd day, I was busy studying the crocodile mod, as well as building a small pen, where I hope my pets will live in the future. I hope there's enough space for my crocodiles, because the crocodiles are pretty big. Let's put 2 eggs here and wait. The entirety of day 24, I was busy with household chores, collecting food, crafting some items, but at the end of the day, I noticed very unpleasant news. One egg has disappeared somewhere. I thought at first that the crocodile had hatched, but I couldn't find it anywhere in the pen. In this regard, it's good that I had 2 eggs, so I really hope it's the latter. Day 25, and it brought a very important plot twist. In the distance, I heard a really loud bang from the north. We should check this out, of course. But where's the north? Compass in the studio. Having crafted a compass, I immediately went there on my rover. I really hoped to find something, and I drove for quite a long time, and I even lost faith that I couldn't find anything. But at some point, I saw a green beam in the distance. But as soon as I approached it, it immediately disappeared. It turned out to be some kind of hut. Swamp guide? Guys, this is the first NPC we saw in this survival. Incredible. I haven't seen people here for a long time. Where did he come from? I'm 72 years old. I've been living in the swamp for many years. This is a dead swamp, as I called it. It can pull you away at any second. But since you're still here, I think you're coping well with the monsters. After 7 years of studying the area, it became clear that this was most likely some kind of simulation, because this entire area is copied one from another. I only have one clue. This is a white deer that lives in the swamp forest. I've seen a silhouette a couple of times. So I haven't seen any swamp forest, but I've already walked around everything. Of course! It's okay, my friend, just listen. I believe that this deer is the key to the solution and the way out of here. You need to find it. Go to these coordinates and look for ice tracks. They can help. After all this time, our survival finally had a plot, and it became more or less clear what we need to do. I went home to prepare, and the next day I was gonna go to those coordinates. Finding this deer will be a whole challenge. After all, the only thing it leaves behind are ice blocks, which will also not be easy to find. I just couldn't wait anymore to look at the new biome that we'll visit soon. On the morning of day 26, I heard very strange sounds coming from my pen. I didn't find any eggs, and then I saw the same crocodile of mine. Just look at how cute he is, guys. He's basically the size of a baked potato. Now we have our own little crocodile. And as they say, leave the name of the crocodile in the comments. Quickly gathering resources, I went to that very forest. Look how the weather has turned out. Just great. I took the minimum amount of resources with me, only the most necessary, so that we have a lot of empty space in our inventory. In this survival, the road through the swamp took a huge amount of time. Sometimes I stopped to loot some locations, but in general, I had to travel really far. I've arrived, guys. It's day 27. And look, I think we need to go there. This is the first time I've seen something like this. To get to the forest, I made a small oak boat instead of risking it and leaving the rover. From the outside, the swamp forest simply amazed me. Different foliage, different blocks, and look at the density of the trees. Most likely there were even gonna be new mobs here, besides that white deer. In reality, guys, I wouldn't want to end up in such a swamp forest at all. Let's start to somehow looking for this deer. On the first day, except for one block of ice, I found nothing else. But this was already at least some kind of clue. I decided to make a small home in a tree because I didn't know how many days I'd spend looking for that deer. And just by some chance on day 28, I got super lucky, as I found more and more of these ice blocks, and then I eventually saw that white silhouette. Wait, stop! Guys, it's him! I found it! Okay, let's try right-clicking it. Oh, it's gone! Bunker key. Wait, what? They just gave me a key to a bunker from this deer? Yeah, this swamp is really strange. On day 29 and day 30, I was back on the road to that same NPC. Having found the key, I learned a new secret of the plot. Were you able to find the deer? Show key. So the key fell from this deer? I guess it's true. Anyway, I don't know if you've heard, but there's a monster that lives here, and I call it the Terrible Swamp. This monster is invisible. It is impossible to touch it, but that's only the case for now. I read several notes that said that the bunker has the answer to somehow summon this monster and make it visible. And I even have the coordinates of that bunker. Supposedly, by destroying this monster, you'll have a chance to pass this survival. What kind of survival? Did I say survival? Doesn't matter. Good luck. On day 31, I returned home. The wheat grew and the crocodile also grew. My house stayed in place and all sorts of different monsters roamed around, especially aquatic ones. Well, guys, this is incredible. We've gone through so many new things today. We simply developed from scratch. I understand that we'll go to the bunker now, in which we must find some final thing that will help us defeat the main monster, so that we can finally get out of this swamp. I harvested my crops and looked at my favorite base and even made a pot of flowers. And finally, on day 32, I went to the coordinates of the bunker. On the evening of the same day, I finally arrived at the same coordinates. So I guess it's here somewhere, guys. Of course, the bunker is not visible nearby, but we'll look. I hope my builders didn't hide it too well. Oh, alright, I see something. Okay, that's it, guys. Be sure to like this video, friends. Opening the doors of the bunker, I began to go down. I was immediately attacked by some creepy mosquitoes. Explain to me, where did these giant mosquitoes come from? This bunker was quite unusual. I can't say that I've seen anything like this before. It's here that today we'll have to find the answer to the whole dead swamp. I didn't hesitate and started looking. Jump! Oh, how huge this thing is! Mosquito! Oh my god. There's no food here at all. It's clear what happened to the skeleton. He died of hunger. While exploring every corner, I even found cool body armor. It looked just great. In addition, there were also zombies in this bunker that also wanted to destroy me. Okay, let's look for something else useful here. Look, you can rotate the pickaxes. Guys, I found a place where there's a lot of shovels and you can spin them all. Okay, wait, 48? This is probably some part of a code. It turned out that I was absolutely right. There was one more piece of code that needed to be found in order to open the final door, behind which we might be able to find something that we were looking for. Look, there's some kind of lit room here. Oh, that's it, I understand. This is the door and that's the code we need to enter. So look, there's a parkour section here and maybe the second part of the code is up there. And not without difficulties, guys. I have a small problem with parkour. 29! That's it, guys. The second part of the code is here. Having received the second part of the code, I immediately went to the door. 48 and 29. Great, so let's see what's in there. But it turned out that this is not the last door that needed to be opened. In the small area that opened up, I found a cool new gun, some ammo, and also a new monitor. If you remember, we found a similar monitor in a swamp at the factory. But unlike that monitor, this one worked. And thanks to it, it was possible to watch the cameras that were installed in this bunker. All of this is cool and all, but I still don't understand how to open the second door. And I can't break the blocks here. Day 32 was ending, and even at night, I didn't find anything. But on day 33, I got pretty lucky. There's another room here, guys. Wait, keycard! Nice! Alright, we have some kind of laboratory. There's even a fan spinning. And what is this? Looks pretty mysterious. The heart of a terrible swamp. I thought this was the end, but it turned out not to be. Now we needed to summon this terrible swamp and fight in the final battle. On day 34, I returned home, I harvested my crops and fed the crocodile. Oh, guys, how much did we go through in the swamp today? During this entire video even. Remember when we just started? We couldn't even go down because we didn't even have a gas mask. However, I was only a right click away from the end. On day 35, I leveled the territory for the battle, made myself whatever diamond armor I could, and was ready to face the terrible swamp. Okay, oh wow! It's huge, guys! I saw one of the small ones in the middle of the video, remember? Whoa, okay, let's go. The main thing is to not forget to put up barricades. But this will not help us, I think. This is just some huge creature. I don't know how else to say it, sorry. Come on, guys, a little more. Oh, I did it, guys. We won. Oh my god, we did it. That was tough. The main boss of this survival has been defeated. I got into my favorite Rover and started driving in one direction. And already on day 37, the swamp stopped generating. That's all, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and watch my other videos. Good luck to you all. Bye bye.